Most warriors master one way. Musashi mastered 5. The difference? One path leads to skill. 5 paths lead to invincibility. Are you ready to walk the complete way? The mountain rises, unmoved by the winds that scream against its face. The river carves its course, patient, unyielding, wearing down stone with every passing year. The fire leaps without hesitation, consuming all that resists. The wind circles the earth, carrying voices, carrying storms, shifting endlessly. And above it all, the void, silent, vast, eternal. These are not mere images, they are truths. The 5 elements, the 5 mirrors, the 5 rings carved by the hand of Miyamoto Musashi, the undefeated swordsman of Japan. Over 60 duels, not once defeated. Not because he chased glory, but because he saw battle as it was, raw, merciless, a forge where only the true remained. He walked alone. From fields of blood to silent caves, his life was not one of comfort, but of discipline. His sword was not only steel, it was will. His victories were not trophies, they were lessons. And in his final years, he wrote them down. 5 scrolls, 5 paths, 5 rings. The Book of 5 Rings. It is not a relic. It is not for scholars to admire behind glass. It is a manual, a living fire. It speaks not only of how to fight with the sword, but of how to fight with the self. Strategy is not confined to duels. It is in every decision, every silence, every moment where weakness tempts and strength demands. Warrior, you live not in Musashi's age, but you face battles no less real. The enemy stands not only with steel, but within, in hesitation, in fear, in the 1,000 small deaths of wasted time and wasted will. The path of Musashi is not history. It is your path now. Before you walk further, I demand this. Look into yourself. Are your feet firm upon the ground, or do you drift rootless as dust? Do you flow as water, or do you shatter at the first resistance? Do you burn as fire when the moment calls, or do you smolder and die out? Do you know the winds of others, or do you lose yourself in them? Do you stand clear in the void, or do you live chained by illusion? This is the first challenge. It is not gentle. It does not flatter. It cuts. And you must let it cut, for only then will the truth remain. Musashi's words are not for the faint of heart. They are for those who would walk the way, disciplined, detached, resilient, clear. The 5 rings are not theory, they are commands. And today, you will hear them as they were meant to be heard. The earth does not ask to be seen. It lies beneath mountains, beneath forests, beneath the steps of every living thing. Silent, immovable. Without it, nothing stands. Warrior, before you raise your sword, before you dream of victory, you must answer this. Upon what ground is your life built? If the storm comes tonight, will your roots hold, or will you be torn from the soil like a shallow weed? This is the first cut, and Musashi begins here, with earth. He wrote that the way of strategy must be built as the house is built, not with paint, not with ornaments, but with stone, beam, and foundation. A builder who lays no groundwork leaves only ruins. A warrior who skips the basics meets death in his first clash. The earth is discipline, stability, foundation. It is repetition until your stance does not waver, until your hand grips the sword without thought, until your spirit does not tremble when steel flashes before your eyes. Look to the farmer. Day after day he plows the same soil. The seasons turn, the rains come, and still he bends to the same task. It is not glory, yet it is the root of harvest. So must your training be. Repetition is the plow, sweat is the rain. From this, strength grows. Without it, you are barren earth, empty, cracked, unyielding. Stand as the tree stands, roots sunk deep into the soil, branches rising only after the ground is claimed. Balance in body, mind, and spirit, as the builder balances stone upon stone. A tree without root is toppled. A house without ground collapses. A man without foundation is already defeated. Musashi carved his way not by copying others, but by building his own road across the soil of discipline. He knew that to follow blindly is to die blindly. You must walk your path, lay your foundation with your own sweat. Others may guide, but they cannot root you. Warrior, hear the command of earth. Build first, adorn later. Discipline before desire. Roots before branches. The ground beneath you is your only truth. Stand firm, and nothing can move you. The river bends to every stone, yet nothing can resist its patience. Strike water, and it reforms. Hold it, and it slips through your grasp. Wait long enough, and it carves valleys deeper than mountains. Musashi wrote that a warrior must be as water, without fixed form, yet unstoppable in its flow. Water takes the shape of its vessel. In combat, this is the lesson of adaptability. If the enemy presses close, you move as a torrent in narrow rapids. If he holds distance, you spread like a wide, calm river. You do not fight to hold your shape. You fight to fill the shape of the moment. The one who clings rigidly to form is like ice, strong for a time, but shattered when struck. Clear water reflects the world without distortion. So must your mind. If pride ripples across the surface, you see only your own reflection. If fear muddies the depths, every shadow becomes a monster. Musashi taught that only the calm mind perceives truth. The swordsman must be as the mirror of still water, reflecting the enemy's rhythm, the terrain, the breath of the moment, exactly as it is. Shallow streams make the most noise, but deep water is silent. So it is with men. The loud boast, the shallow posture, the over-eager strike, these betray emptiness. The true warrior moves with depth, quiet and unseen, until the strike is already upon you. Let your training be deep, not loud. Let your silence be heavy, not hollow. Musashi also wrote of the current. Small streams join, and rivers are born. Rivers merge, and they become the sea. In the same way, each small discipline joins the others until mastery grows vast. Every repetition, every stance, every drill, each is a drop, and the drops become the tide. Do not despise small streams, for without them, the ocean is never filled. And water is rhythm. Waves rise and fall. Tides advance and retreat. A duel is no different. Strike too fast, and your rhythm is broken. Wait too long, and the tide of opportunity recedes. The warrior must ride the waves of combat as a ship rides the sea, steady, balanced, timed with the swell. Strike when the crest rises, withdraw when the ebb demands. Warrior, this is water's cut. Flow, reflect, move with depth, ride the rhythm. Be patient as the river, sudden as the wave, clear as still water, deep as the sea. Let your form be no form, your strength be no weakness. Then nothing can seize you, nothing can stop you. Fire does not ask, it does not wait, it consumes. A single spark in dry grass, left alone, becomes a blaze that devours the horizon. So too is combat, Musashi taught. Once it begins, hesitation is death. The fire of battle is chaos, fast, merciless, consuming everything in its path. To face it, you must not be slow, nor timid, nor uncertain. You must strike as fire strikes, sudden, direct, absolute. The one who holds back, waiting for comfort, is already ash. Fire spreads when it is fed. A spark alone is nothing. But breathe upon it, feed it fuel, and it becomes unstoppable. In strategy, this is momentum. Once you have forced your opponent back, you do not pause. You press. You suffocate. Each strike feeds the flame until the enemy's spirit is smothered in smoke. Musashi called this pressure. the relentless advance that denies the opponent even the chance to recover. But fire must be mastered, not worshipped. An uncontrolled blaze consumes friend and foe alike. So too the warrior who charges without rhythm, who burns without thought. To master fire is not to rage, but to direct. As the hearth warms the house but does not destroy it, so must your strike be, controlled, precise, exact. Musashi taught that the skilled swordsman knows when to ignite and when to hold the ember. And yet timing is the flame's truest lesson. Strike too soon, and you burn out before the fire takes root. Strike too late, and the spark has died. But strike in the exact moment, when the wood is dry, when the wind bends, when the opponent falters. Then the fire leaps with inevitability. This is not passion, but precision. Fire is not mere fury. It is perfect timing clothed in heat. The light of fire is also a weapon. A blaze illuminates the night, revealing what was hidden. But it blinds those who stand too close. Use your fire to dazzle, to mislead, to show your enemy only what you wish him to see. Every strike is not only an attack, but a flash. A burst of light meant to disorient, to unsettle, to make him stumble into your rhythm. Warrior, Musashi's fire is not metaphor alone. It is the pulse of combat itself. Once the opening comes, there is no time for thought, no pause for hesitation. There is only the cut, the strike, the flame that either devours or dies. Hear this: be as fire, sudden as the spark, relentless as the blaze, controlled as the hearth, blinding as the flash, precise as the torch lit in darkness. Burn when the moment calls, and let no shadow remain. The wind cannot be grasped. It moves where it will, soft upon your cheek one moment, tearing the roofs from houses the next. Musashi wrote that wind meant not only air, but the many schools, the many ways, the countless directions of strategy. Every school claims its own path, its own truth, but most are no more than passing gusts. He studied them all, the flowing schools, the rigid schools, the ornamental, the boastful. He saw their forms, their chants, their endless rituals. To Musashi, they were like wind, felt but not held, loud but without substance. A warrior who binds himself to one wind is like a sailor who raises only one sail. When the wind shifts, he is stranded. The storm wind teaches its own truth. Sometimes a breeze is harmless, but given force, it can tear forests from the earth. So it is with rival teachings. At times they appear soft, even harmless, but left unchecked, they can overwhelm the unprepared. That is why Musashi commanded his students to study them, to understand them, to strip away their illusion. Not to follow, but to overcome. Breath itself is wind. Without it, there is no life, no rhythm, no strike. In combat, your breath governs your timing. Too fast, and you are unsteady. Too slow, and you are late. The true warrior's breath flows with the fight, in, out, calm, in the midst of fury. Watch your enemy's breath, and you will know his rhythm. Break it, and you break his sword before it moves. Many boast of their wins. They speak loudly of their forms, their masters, their victories. But Musashi called such boasting empty air. Wind that makes much noise carries little weight. The deeper current is unseen. The warrior who trains without proclamation, who does not scatter words into the storm, but lets his cut speak. Do not mistake the wind of illusion for truth. The one who puffs himself up with borrowed wisdom is like a gust that shakes leaves but never uproots the tree. Musashi stood apart from this. He built his style not by chasing winds, but by rooting himself in earth, flowing like water, burning like fire, and then looking upon all other currents with a clear eye. Warrior, learn from the winds, but do not be carried away by them. Know the directions, know the storms, know the breath of your opponent. But raise your own sail, Stand firm upon your ground, for the wind shifts endlessly, and the one who drifts with it is lost. This is the cut of the wind scroll. Study all ways, see through illusion, but never let another man's breath become your own. Know the winds, let them pass. Walk your path. The void cannot be touched. It has no edge, no color, no sound. Yet it holds everything. Between the notes of a song, silence. Between two strikes of the blade, the pause. Between life and death, the breath that vanishes. Musashi called this the void, not nothingness, but the place where truth shines without distortion. He wrote that men cling to form, to schools, to rituals, to visible strength. Yet these are shadows. The essence of strategy is not in what is seen, but in what is unseen. Air cannot be grasped, yet without it, no warrior lives. The void is this unseen air, the principle that makes all else possible. The silence between sounds is as important as the sound itself. Without silence, there is no rhythm, no music. Without stillness, there is no strike, only noise. So too in combat, the mastery lies not in endless motion, but in the space between movements. A cut made at the wrong time is wasted steel. A cut made from the stillness of the void is inevitable. The moon reflected in still water does not tremble when the warrior's heart is clear. Illusions vanish when the mind is empty. Pride, fear, desire, these stir the surface and cloud the reflection. Musashi taught that the true swordsman acts when these have been cut away. In emptiness, he is free. To step into the void is also to accept death. Life ends, blades break, bodies fall. Yet the one who fears this is already chained. The void teaches that nothing is permanent, and so nothing must be clung to. When you no longer cling, hesitation dies. When hesitation dies, your cut is pure. Musashi spent his last years not in the roar of battle, but in the silence of caves, writing by candlelight, listening to wind in the pines. From that solitude, he saw that ultimate mastery was beyond technique. It was presence itself, to be still as the night sky, clear as the empty air, inevitable as the passing of time. Warrior, hear this. The void is not nothing. It is the mirror where all illusions vanish. It is the air that sustains you. It is the silence between strikes. It is the emptiness where fear has no hold. Step into it, and you will find that what you thought was absence is the sharpest presence of all. This is the final ring. Enter the void. Go beyond technique into pure presence and clarity. You have walked through the 5 rings, earth beneath your feet, water flowing through your veins, fire burning in your chest, wind pressing against your face, void surrounding you like the endless sky. Remember, roots before branches, stand as the earth, and nothing can move you. Flow as water, reflect clearly, strike with the rhythm of the tide, burn as fire. When the spark appears, consume without hesitation. Know the winds, study all paths, but walk your own. Enter the void. In emptiness, cut free from illusion. These are not words to admire. They are blades to carry. They are the way. Now look into the mirror of steel. Who do you see? The one who lives these truths, or the one who hides from them? The forge is hot, the hammer falls. You are the blade. Harden or shatter. Walk the way. Cut without hesitation. Live without illusion. Stand unbroken. Be as the 5 rings, and nothing can unmake you.